In the grand courtroom, sunlight poured through the tall windows, painting golden stripes across the polished wooden floor. The air smelled of old books and tension. Mark Thompson, 45, stood at the front in his perfect navy suit, tie knotted like a noose of victory. His gold cufflinks flashed as he turned to face his soon-to-be ex-wife, Sarah. She sat quietly, hands folded in her lap, eyes red from tears she refused to let fall again. Mark's lips curled into a wide, cruel smile. "You really thought you had a chance, Sarah? Look at you, broken, empty, nothing left." His voice carried through the room, sharp and loud. His lawyers chuckled behind him. The judge had just spoken the words he'd paid so much to hear. Full custody of their 18-year-old daughter Emily to Mark, the family home to Mark, the savings account to Mark. Everything. Sarah got nothing but visiting rights once a month, if she behaved. Mark leaned closer to her, his expensive cologne thick in the air. "Emily is mine now. She'll finally grow up in a real home, not the weak little world you built. I made this family. I get to keep it." Sarah didn't answer. She only looked at him with steady eyes. Mark laughed, a cold, cutting sound that echoed off the high ceiling. He pulled a silver flask from his jacket pocket, unscrewed the top, and raised it high. To winning. To finally being free of dead weight. He drank deeply, wiped his mouth with the back of his hand, and grinned at his team. Cameras flashed outside the doors as reporters waited. Mark felt like a king, but he forgot one thing. Some victories come with a price you never see coming. He strode out of the courtroom like he owned the building. His shoes clicked on the marble floor. Reporters shouted questions. Mark gave them his best charming smile. Justice was served today. That's all I'll say. Inside, his mind raced with plans. Emily would move into the penthouse full-time. Sarah would disappear, broke, alone, forgotten. He had painted her perfectly in court. Unstable, neglectful, a danger to their daughter. Fake therapy notes, hidden money, paid witnesses. It had all worked like clockwork. His phone buzzed nonstop. Friends texting congratulations. Business partners praising his strength. Lisa, his new girlfriend, Sarah's former best friend, sent a heart emoji and a photo of champagne waiting at home. Mark smirked. Life was perfect. He slid into his black Mercedes, engine purring like his pride. Music blasted as he sped through the city. Tall buildings blurred past. He pictured Sarah walking to her tiny apartment, carrying the last of her things in plastic bags. The thought made him laugh out loud. He had crushed her completely, and no one could touch him now. That night, the penthouse glowed with lights and laughter. Mark threw a victory party on the rooftop terrace. The city sparkled below like scattered diamonds. Waiters in white gloves carried trays of champagne and caviar. Lisa clung to his arm in a tight red dress, her laughter loud and sharp. "You were amazing in court today, baby," she whispered, kissing his neck. Mark pulled her closer. "Of course I was. Sarah never had a chance. Weak people always lose." His friends raised glasses. To Mark, the man who always wins. Cigars smoked in the warm night air. The scent of expensive perfume mixed with grilled steak from the private chef. Mark stood at the railing, looking down at the tiny cars far below. He felt untouchable. Emily was upstairs in her new room, headphones on, trying to ignore the noise. Mark didn't care. "She'll come around," he told himself. "She'll see I did this for her own good." Near midnight, his phone buzzed in his pocket. Unknown number. The message read, "Check your email before you celebrate any harder." Mark rolled his eyes. Probably a jealous ex-employee or a prank. He walked inside to his office, away from the music and chatter. Opened his laptop. One new email. No subject. One attachment. A video file named truth.mp4. He clicked play. The screen lit up with his own office, his private office at work. Hidden camera angle from the bookshelf. There he was, 6 months ago, screaming into the phone at Emily. "You're turning into your mother. Lazy, useless. Shape up, or I'll cut you off completely." Cut to another day. Him and Lisa on the leather couch, laughing. His own voice clear and cold. "Sarah's so stupid. She'll never see it coming. We'll take the house, the money, everything. She'll be left with nothing." More clips. Him paying a man in cash, whispering about making sure the therapist says what we need. Him bragging to a lawyer about forging documents. Every dirty secret, every cruel word, perfectly recorded. Mark's stomach dropped. His hands went ice cold. Who filmed this? How long had it been running? He deleted the email fast, heart pounding. Told himself it was fake. A deep fake. No one else could have it. Right? He went back to the party, forced a smile, but the champagne tasted sour now. Lisa noticed. You okay, hon? He nodded too quickly. Just tired from winning. But sleep didn't come that night. He lay in the dark, staring at the ceiling, replaying the video in his head. Every word he'd spoken now felt like a knife pointed back at him. Morning brought gray skies and a pounding headache. Mark dressed for work. Another perfect suit, another perfect mask. His secretary handed him coffee and the day's schedule. Your lawyer called 3 times, sir. Said it's urgent. Mark's throat tightened. He locked his office door and called back. Mark, we're in trouble, the lawyer said, voice low. Sarah's team just filed an emergency motion to reopen the case. They submitted new evidence, a video. The judge scheduled an in-chambers meeting for tomorrow morning. Mark's knees went weak. He sat down hard. What video? He asked, though he already knew. They claim it shows perjury, bribery, coercion, everything. It's bad, Mark. Really bad. Silence stretched on the line. Mark's mind screamed. How did they get it so fast? Who sent it? Buy us time, he finally said. Pay whoever you have to. Say it's fake. The lawyer sighed. We'll try. But the judge already ordered authentication. Mark hung up and stared out his window. The city looked different now, cold and far away. People at work started avoiding his eyes in the hallway. Whispers followed him. By lunch, his boss emailed, my office. Now, Mark walked in smiling, but the smile felt fake even to him. Mark, rumors are spreading fast. Something about court evidence. We can't have scandal touching the company. Mark laughed it off. Just lies from a bitter ex-wife. It'll blow over. But the boss didn't smile back. We'll see. For now, take a few days off. Paid. Stay out of sight. Driving home, traffic crawled. Mark gripped the wheel until his knuckles turned white. His phone rang. Emily. He almost didn't answer. Dad. Her voice sounded small. Mom called me. She said things are going to change. She sounded happy. Mark snapped. Don't talk to her without my permission. Emily went quiet. Then softly, why are you always so angry, Dad? The call ended. Mark slammed the dashboard. For the first time, real fear crawled up his spine. He was losing control. That evening, Lisa cooked dinner, trying to act normal. But her eyes kept flicking to him. So is everything really okay? Mark poured whiskey, hands shaking. It's fine. Just legal noise. She nodded, but didn't look convinced. Later, in bed, he couldn't touch her. The video played on loop in his mind. Every cruel laugh, every boast. He saw himself clearly now, a monster wearing an expensive suit. Let's step back and understand how this nightmare began. 2 years earlier, life looked very different. Mark and Sarah had been married 20 years. They lived in a beautiful suburban house with green lawns and a white picket fence. Sarah taught 3rd grade, loved her students, came home smiling every day. Mark was already climbing the corporate ladder, but he still came home most nights. Emily grew up thinking her parents were happy. Family vacations, holiday photos, Sunday barbecues. Everything looked perfect from the outside. But inside Mark's heart, something had started to rot. Success made him hungry for more. More money, more power, more admiration. Sarah's gentle kindness began to feel boring to him. He wanted excitement. That's when Lisa re-entered their lives. Lisa had been Sarah's college roommate and best friend. After years apart, she moved back to the city for a marketing job. Glamorous, loud, always the center of attention. She and Mark started meeting for drinks to catch up. Sarah trusted them both completely. She even encouraged the friendship. Slowly, the drinks turned into late nights. Texts turned into secrets. One night, Mark kissed Lisa in his car. He told himself it was nothing. Then it became everything. He started criticizing Sarah at home. Little things first, her cooking, her clothes, her laugh. Then bigger things. You're letting yourself go. You're too soft with Emily. Sarah tried harder to please him. She lost weight. changed her hair, took extra classes to advance her career. Nothing worked. Mark only grew colder. When Sarah found the first text message on his phone, Lisa's name and a heart emoji, she confronted him gently. Mark exploded. "You're paranoid. You're driving me away." He turned it around on her, made her feel crazy. Sarah cried herself to sleep that night. The next month, she found hotel receipts. This time, Mark didn't deny it. He sat across the kitchen table and said, "I'm not happy anymore. You're holding me back. I deserve more." Sarah begged him to try counseling. He refused. "It's over." The divorce started ugly and only got worse. Mark wanted everything. He hired the most expensive lawyers in the city. They dug into Sarah's life, twisted every good thing into something bad. Therapy sessions she'd attended for anxiety after her mother's death became proof of mental instability. Her exhaustion from teaching full-time while raising Emily became neglect. Mark moved money into secret accounts. He convinced Emily, confused and scared, that mom was sick and needed help. Emily, wanting to keep peace, went along with it. Sarah fought with everything she had, but she was outmatched. Her savings drained on legal fees. She moved into a small one-bedroom apartment. Nights were the worst, lying in the dark, wondering how the man she loved could hate her this much. But Sarah never gave up hope. She kept every voicemail where Mark threatened her, saved every angry text, and quietly, she stayed in touch with people who knew the truth. One of those people was Jenna, Mark's former executive assistant. Jenna had worked for him for 5 years. She saw the real Mark, the yelling, the lies, the way he treated people like objects. When she gently questioned one of his shady deals, he fired her on the spot. Jenna left angry. Before she cleaned out her desk, she planted a tiny hidden camera in the office bookshelf, one of those cheap wireless models. She told herself it was insurance, in case he ever came after her. She never planned to use the footage. But when she read in the news that Mark had won full custody and left Sarah with nothing, something snapped. Jenna spent weeks editing the worst moments into one long video. Then she sent it anonymously to Sarah's brother, Tom, a tough, honest lawyer who had always disliked Mark. Tom watched the video and knew they had a weapon. He filed the emergency motion immediately. Back to that terrible morning of the new hearing. Mark arrived at court early, suit pressed, hair perfect, but sweat soaked his shirt under the jacket. His lawyers looked nervous. Sarah sat on the other side with Tom, calm and strong. Emily sat in the gallery, twisting a tissue in her hands. The judge entered and wasted no time. "I've reviewed the submitted video evidence and had it authenticated by experts. It is genuine. Counsel, proceed." Sarah's lawyer stood. "Your Honor, this video shows clear perjury, witness tampering, bribery, and emotional abuse. We ask that all prior rulings be vacated and new ones issued based on truth." Mark's lawyer tried to object. "The source is anonymous. Chain of custody is questionable." But the judge shut him down. "The content speaks for itself. Play the video." The courtroom screen came alive. Mark's own voice filled the room. Cold, cruel, bragging. Clip after clip. Him laughing about destroying Sarah. Him paying off witnesses. Him threatening Emily. Gasps rose from the gallery. Emily sobbed openly. One juror from the original hearing shook her head in disgust. Lisa, sitting in the back row hoping to stay invisible, slipped out the side door. When the video ended, silence hung heavy. Mark stared at the floor. His face burned red. The judge spoke slowly. "Mr. Thompson, this court was deceived. All prior custody and financial orders are vacated effective immediately. Temporary full custody is awarded to Mrs. Thompson pending full review. Assets will be frozen until fair division. And I am referring this matter to the district attorney for criminal investigation. Perjury, fraud, and bribery are serious charges." Mark tried to speak. "Your Honor," his voice cracked. The judge raised a hand. "Save it for your criminal trial, sir." The gavel fell like a gunshot. Outside, reporters swarmed. Mark pushed through without a word, face pale. His phone exploded. Texts, calls, emails. Board members demanding resignation. Friends suddenly busy. Lisa's final text. "I can't do this. I'm sorry." Then her number blocked him. That afternoon, the company issued a statement. Mark Thompson has been placed on indefinite leave. An internal investigation is underway. By evening, it became termination. His name vanished from the website. Industry contacts stopped returning calls. Blacklisted. The criminal charges came fast, 3 counts to start. Mark hired new lawyers with what money he had left, but the evidence was ironclad. He sold the Mercedes to pay bills. The penthouse went back to the bank after the revised settlement. Sarah received the family home, fair support, and damages for emotional distress. Mark moved into a small, gray apartment on the edge of town. Peeling paint, noisy neighbors, a single window facing a brick wall. He applied for jobs, mid-level management, even junior roles. Rejection after rejection. We're going in a different direction. He knew what it really meant. No one wanted the scandal. Nights were the worst. Alone with a cheap bottle of whiskey, old family photos on the table. He looked at pictures of Emily's birthdays, Sarah's smile, vacations when he still pretended to be a good man. Regret tasted bitter. He had celebrated breaking her family. He had mocked her pain. Now he was the broken one. Sarah, meanwhile, healed day by day. She moved back into the family home with Emily. They painted Emily's room a bright new color together. Cooked meals side by side, laughing again. Sarah went back to teaching. Her students ran to hug her every morning. Tom helped her start a small college fund for Emily with the settlement money. Friends who had stayed silent out of fear now came forward with support. Sarah joined a support group for divorced women and found strength in their stories. She even started dating again, slowly, carefully, a kind colleague who loved her gentleness. Emily forgave her mother completely. They talked for hours about everything they'd bottled up. Therapy helped them both. Emily visited Mark once a month at first, out of duty. But his anger and blame slowly turned to quiet apologies. Whether they were real or not, only time would tell. 1 year later, Mark worked a low-paying sales job, lived alone, and carried the weight of what he'd lost. He saw Sarah and Emily sometimes from a distance, at the park, at school events. They looked happy, whole, stronger than before. He had thought destroying Sarah would make him free. Instead, the video exposed his true colors to the world and to himself. Pride builds tall walls, but they fall hard when truth arrives. Never underestimate quiet people. Their patience is often stronger than your cruelty. And karma? It doesn't rush. It waits. It watches. And when the moment is perfect, it strikes. If you enjoyed this story of instant karma and ultimate justice, please smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a twist. What would you have done in this situation? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next story.